Vikings is a plunderful game for 2 to 4 players. Gamers try to colonize islands with as many Vikings as possible to score victory points. There are 6 rounds, and in each one, players choose from a group of island or ship tiles combined with a different Viking meeple around a tableau indicating their individual costs. Island tiles are used to expand or start new islands in the player's play area. Viking meeples are used to colonize these islands, and their different colors indicate different powers and/or values. Ship tiles are the enemy, and they can neutralize all Vikings on island tiles in their column. Warrior Vikings are used to defend and repel these ships. After 6 rounds, players must feed their Vikings and then count their final scores.
So this is a pretty original game.
Yeah, well, like you've said, it's unlike anything. Like you challenged me to come up with something else that's similar to it, and I can't really. I mean, it's not completely unique. There's tiles, there's pawns, there's but no, I can't think of any other game that plays similarly, which is nice. It's unique, but it's also familiar enough that you're not totally confused while trying to play it. They didn't. It's not like they tried to make it unique for the sake of being unique. There's a little bit of a building thing, right? You're kind of trying to collect certain sets of tiles, but you want to collect them in a proper order so that you can build them properly. And there's some tiles where you don't want to take them, but you do want the pawn that comes with them, like the ships, right? You don't want ships, but it's made in such a way that the ships are usually with your boatmen, who you're going to want. Especially good for that end scoring, that extra 10 points.
Island pieces, unless you're really going for most islands or longest islands, you can pretty much put anywhere and then save the guy to put somewhere else later. It's pretty rare that you take a tile that you can't place.
Yeah, you've got to screw up pretty badly.
The buying phase is pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, deciding what to buy.
Watch what other people are going for.
Yeah, and whether or not you want to pay extra to get them or the guys later up, or are you willing to gamble, wait until the wheel advances?
Or you can just not spend any money.
Any money, just take whatever comes up, or very little.
One or $2.
Yeah, and see how that. Yeah, that's. It'd be interesting to see how that would work out too.
Because then you can hoard your money and then buy all the prime stuff. Because if you get one round where, since it's random what comes up, you can just not spend hardly any money and just save your money, and then the next round maybe there'll be really good things.
And then just buy whatever you want.
And just throw your money around like a big shot.
And yeah, there's no limit, right, on the money? Like you can just accumulate any amount, and yeah.
There's a limit to how much you get depending on number of players at the beginning.
Right. And it seems to scale well.
Really well, yeah. Two-player plays pretty much just as well.
It's the same number of tiles regardless of number of players, right? So yeah.
So interestingly, money's tighter with less players.
Well, I wonder if that's why they also
only
made it 2 to 4, because you can't, right? The number of tiles is evenly divisible by 2, 3, and 4. 5 wouldn't work. You can't evenly divide the number of tiles by 5.
No, but
you could play at 5. There's no reason why it wouldn't work as a 5-player, other than the fact that you wouldn't get an even number of tiles.
No, but the first player order changes.
True.
Clockwise. So
True.
Still, there'd be one round where one person would get
yeah, it would be shorter. There's lots of neat little mechanisms in this game that I really like. Like it's almost like a puzzle building thing where you're laying out the tiles and then taking the ships at the top, which negate your lower stuff unless you have a guard to fend them off. And if you can't place the guard there, then you need to get a boatman to later on ship them out. There's lots of neat little things.
And depending on the color, that's how many.
The color of the boat, yeah, that's
so
how far down it.
Decide what you can spare.
Yeah, and you could collect up as long as you have 3 guards to at least knock out your first 3, because those 3 boats you're going to have those. But then you can just start tacking boats on the end, and it's almost like a default. Like it doesn't matter.
Except you'll lose those points at the end of the game.
Oh, does that count as negative at the end of the? Oh, it does. Oh, okay. So there is. Okay. So there is something to stop you.
Not each scoring round, but at the very end.
At the very end of the game, the final scoring.
Any undefended ships are gonna
score
your points or money.
Yeah, but the money thing. Oh, like no, and money are points too. Right? It's 5 for every point.
Yeah, people going for the fishermen tend to kind of use that as a game winner.
How so?
Because it's worth, each guy you can feed over your maximum, or each
right.
extra guy you can feed is worth 2 points.
Right, but you do have to get your
So,
fishermen out.
yeah.
Like there is that, and there's probably going to be boats. So and then you're going to need guards to protect them. Well,
But they're at the bottom though. So
yeah, there's not that many blue boats either,
Yeah.
which should come all the way down.
I think it might be better if they only got 1 point.
Right.
instead
Well,
of
do you
2.
see? Is that often a game winning?
Almost always.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, especially if new people play it.
Well, the last game we played, you scored 2 more points in that than I did. So that, I mean, that wasn't the game winner. Like you ended up beating us by like 17 points or something crazy like that, which is a lot in this game. But I think the other 2 of us, we were 1 point apart. But you ended up winning. I think that what I find is the most boatmen, that 10 extra points at the end. That's huge. You know, when you're dealing with a game of about 50 points, 10 points at the end, that's a big chunk.
But it's interesting, you can focus on that, or you can focus on most islands, and that's 7 points, I think, or longest island is 5.
Longest island is 5 and most islands is 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you
Or
do
you
go...
can just hoard your money and you can get...
Yeah, and if you do go for most boatmen, chances are you're going to lose out on other things as well. So yeah, there is that. There's a good balance to what you want to go. And everybody gets the same number of guys, which is nice. It's just how you allocate them after that, how you manage to juggle things around and stuff that determines.
It's a pretty quick game.
It seems very quick, yeah.
It's a good starter up.
Yeah, a good start to the evening.
Yeah.
Definitely. And you're not going to end up taking, your turn is not going to take very long. You haven't got so many choices, you're just going to sit there and agonize over what to do. It's pretty, I mean, yeah, you have to choose which guy you're going to buy, but I mean, often the amount of money you have dictates what, which
Very
guys you
little
can buy.
downtime.
Yeah.
It's a lot to take in maybe at the beginning, but once you play the first round, you got it.
Yeah, it's not overly complicated. It's funny because I mean, maybe partially because of the tiles, but the placing of your guys on the tile, it's a little bit like Carcassonne in that when you take a tile, you can place a guy on that tile at that time. If you choose, if not, then you can. But again, with the boatmen, you can eventually put them on later. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's more complicated than Carcassonne, and that's a pretty simple game. The randomness of which tiles come up, which can change, what you do in a turn, but it's not like in Carcassonne where you're just randomly drawing one tile out of the bag and then...
Except Carcassonne, you're all playing with the same board, and
yeah, whereas this one everybody has their own
everyone
little
has their
player
own
board.
little area, and then
Yeah.
the
So it's
first part of
distinctly
the-
unlike Carcassonne as well.
The first part of the phase is pure interaction.
Right. No, I like it a lot. I don't feel like I'm a Viking though.
I do.
Really? While playing it? You're gonna start calling everyone Sven?
No,
No, I didn't think so. No, the theme is pretty
I might pillage.
thin. I mean, really, the theme is pretty pasted on, like most Euros. Like you don't. I mean, I really don't.
Do you have to feel like you're in
Well,
the world though?
As some have said, I want to feel the wind through my hair. And you don't. I don't feel like I'm a Viking leader sending my men off to different islands to. It's just no.
What game is there that makes you feel like you're in the theme?
Civilization.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, like stuff like Descent, and there are games that are very strong theme-wise, but.
But you actually, I know strong theme, but that you actually feel like you're in the theme.
Well, no, you know what I mean. Like, no, I don't actually feel like I'm done crawling through a dungeon in Descent, because I don't think that would be very enjoyable. But
Well, you can LARP.
no, you can't.